We're going to start by stitching these lines on the orange. And I'm just going to follow those lines. You can go as fast or as slow as you like. When you get to the end of one line, just start moving backwards and go over the stitching again and along the next line. And then back. And you don't need to turn your work around, but if it helps, you can turn it around. And that's the first line. You can complete all the lines on both sides of the wing. Now we're going to stitch around the small orange pieces, and we're going to do a circular motion around that. So we're just going to stitch little circles 2 or 3 times around and then move on in the next circle, just to get a circular look. That makes it look like there's little orange dots on the wings. Now I've put an orange thread on, and I'm going to go around just right on the very edge of the orange wing. I'm just edge stitching this around just to hold it in place. The circles here, and I'm just going to stitch again in circles. And you can go around 3 or 4 or 5 times, pull it in a little, as much as you like. And move on to the next one. So you're just doing circular motions. I'm cutting the thread between each one, but you can just drag it along and then cut the threads later. Now I've added a metallic thread, and I'm just going to stitch in the lines along the bottom wing. I can go right over the orange line, just do a couple of lines there. Now with the metallic thread, you may need to put a metallic needle in and use that if you're having problems with your thread breaking. And also you'll need to stitch a little slower with the metallic thread. I'm going to put these little circles on the bottom of the wings. I'm just going to stitch around those twice. Give a little bit of a sparkle. And then I'm going to come and do a little bit of stitching on the top wing just to balance off the metallic. This time I'm just going to stitch up around here, and sort of loopy. I'm going pretty slow. You can see I'm moving it fairly slowly so the thread doesn't break. And down. Just come down this side as well. Whoops. I usually like to turn it around to when I'm working with the metallic, because it's a bit inclined to snap sometimes. So there we have it. Here we are, we have the butterfly finished stitching, all the top stitching, and I've put a fusible webbing on the back and pressed it onto our background. And now we're going to attach it by stitching around each of the individual pieces, like the top wings and the bottom wings and the body. And I'll just show you going around the body. So we'll just stitch up and around both sides, and when we get up to the top we're going to put the feelers in, and so we're just going to stitch with our black thread. You can see I've already drawn them on, so I know where I'm stitching, and then come back down again and then go up the other side. And you can finish off by stitching completely around the butterfly.